It began in the desert. In 1991, the world watched a new kind of war unfold during the Gulf War. The outcome was staggering, but behind the advanced missiles and stealth aircraft was a single, silent game-changer: the computer chip. This tiny piece of technology, born in American labs in 1947, would go on to redefine global power, sparking a hidden war that is still raging today. The journey of the chip is a story of brilliant innovation, fierce international rivalry, and a desperate race for independence. After its invention, the semiconductor's potential was quickly realized, but no single nation could master its entire production. A global supply chain emerged, with the United States dominating design, Japan perfecting raw materials, the Netherlands building the most advanced machinery, and South Korea and later Taiwan surging ahead in manufacturing. For decades, this was the status quo, but for one major power, this dependence became a source of deep strategic anxiety. Seeing the transformative power of chips in modern warfare and the economy, this nation realized it was dangerously behind. It had, in fact, started with a promising foundation, with brilliant minds returning from abroad in the mid-20th century to build a domestic industry from scratch. Early computers and even first-generation chips were developed not long after the West. Yet, a combination of international isolation, internal challenges, and a lack of a robust commercial market caused this early momentum to stall. As Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan carved out their critical roles in the global chip ecosystem through a mix of government strategy and corporate daring, this nation found itself on the sidelines. Ambitious national projects were launched with great hope, but they were often hampered by bureaucracy, a lack of market experience, and an inability to keep pace with the blistering speed of international technological progress. There were moments of promise, where state-backed ventures managed to achieve profitability by focusing on specific, government-secured markets like national ID cards and public transport passes. But these successes were fragile. The industry was set back even further by a devastating scandal in the early 2000s, where a celebrated breakthrough chip was revealed to be an elaborate fraud, shattering public trust and chilling investment for years. The wake-up call was stark. The realization set in that the nation's information industry had a critical weakness. It lacked a core. A new, more pragmatic strategy was adopted. Instead of trying to build a completely independent ecosystem overnight, the focus shifted to creating a dual-track system. Critical national infrastructure and defense would rely on domestically controlled chips, while commercial companies would be supported to compete, survive, and learn in the global market. This long-term plan, backed by massive national investment funds, began to bear fruit. Homegrown companies started to make genuine progress, designing their own mobile phone chips and advancing manufacturing processes. But just as they reached the global stage, the conflict began in earnest. The very dependence they had sought to escape was now used as a weapon against them. Leading companies were placed on trade blacklists, cutting off access to critical software and advanced manufacturing tools. It was a moment of supreme crisis, but also of clarity. The message was undeniable. Technological sovereignty was not an option, but a necessity for survival. The response was a whole-of-nation mobilization. Billions in public and private capital flooded into the semiconductor sector. Design houses and manufacturers forged closer ties than ever before, united by a single, unshakable goal: to build an independent chip supply chain, no matter the cost. The battle is far from over. The technological gaps are significant, and the obstacles are immense, but the direction is now set. This is no longer just a competition over market share. It is a fundamental struggle over who controls the foundational technology of the 21st century. The story of the chip is still being written, and its final chapters will shape the future of the world.